Video, I'll try to explain how you can create a perfect reflowable ebook file. So before we do that, it's essential that we create the styles correctly. So the styles and everything has to be correctly done, and every heading and body text needs to have correct styling. Otherwise, you won't be able to export a perfect looking EPUB file. And if you're exporting for Kindle e-reader, it's recommended that you use standard fonts such as Garamond, or if you're using serif font, then just use serif for all the body text and title, or sans serif. Just use one type of fonts. This will, you know, once you export the file, this will make it look more cohesive with each other. So that looks more professional as an ebook. So you can see like this book has quite a lot of designs here. So I'll start from here, and these are all the styles that we have used to to create a print file. So now the print is done. Now we're creating an ebook out of it. And the other thing is make sure all the frames are connected with each other. So you can always check, these frames. Yeah, these make sure these frames are connected with each other. And yeah, that's it. If you have got any objects here, maybe icons or anything. In my case, we don't have any, but let's say if you do, then make sure the icons are anchored properly. So the first thing I'm going to do is, like, there's too much space here, so I'll try to refrain from adding empty returns. So I'll add this much space, and I'll add a new style. I'll use this style to create a break, so I'll call it splitter. So I'll remove any spacing after this one. So I'll be using this style wherever we don't have any chapter heading. So I'll be using this style to divide that page. So in this case, I'll just use this one, and I'll go here. I'll double click on it and export tagging. So I just need to turn this thingy on. It's called split document. This means while an EPUB export, this will split my document, and this will tell the EPUB reader that there is a page break here. So hit OK, and next one, there is no heading here, so I'll just again add a break here and then add a splitter here. So then I'll come back here. You can see there's a shading here. So what I'll do is I'll just remove all the shading from the entire book. So what I've done is I've selected the entire book, Command A, shading, and then I'll just remove the shading from here. So the entire shading for the entire book is now gone. This is the style here. I can always, for each style, I'm telling InDesign and my EPUB reader that whenever I have a chapter heading, just split it, like start it from a next page. So this is the input for it. That's what it means. Moving on to the next one. Again, I'm just deleting these returns because these force breaks won't translate into a EPUB export. So I'm just deleting it for now. So export tagging, again, that's perfect. The reason we added the first breaks initially was to create some space on top, and that was a trick we used for print book. But since that part is done, so now we're not worrying about it. So this one, the shading is now gone automatically. I've added a page break automatically when I was doing the print book, so we don't have to, add that again. So I'll just, if I want to retain the kind of similar style, then I'll just do here, go to chapter number, export tagging, split document, and that is done. And in my case, I'm telling my InDesign that whenever you see chapter one, just start that page from its own page. And then I'm telling whenever you should see a drop cap, start it from its own page, because this is the kind of style that we applied for this book. So that's the reason it's so now whenever there'll be a chapter heading, it'll start from its own page, and same goes for the drop cap. So this is a very simple, straightforward book. So that's the reason I'm just giving one simple instruction, and that's it. It will just the other styles are repetition of the same thing, so I won't repeat it again. Yeah, that's it. So what I'll do is now is I'll save it to the new name, so that I can always come back here, and if I need to make any changes to my EPUB file. So I'll call it EPUB hyphen brilliant. So now I'll go file, export, I won't use the shortcut here. I'll just go from here, file, export. I'll click here. I'll click on. I'll say ebook, and then EPUB reflowable. Save here. I'll call this 3.0 rasterize. I'll say none. If you want to attach an ebook cover, you can always attach it from here. In my case, I'm not doing it because when you upload an ebook to Amazon Kindle, they'll always ask you to upload the cover separately. So I'm not going to do it in my case. I forgot to do something which was my table of content. So in this case, the table of content is not built in. Like there is no content page here, but we always have to define a table of content. So what I'll do is I'll just go here and I'll add my heading so that InDesign knows there is a back. It's important that you need to have some table of contents. Yeah, I won't show this here. I'll save the file. I'll go repeat the same thing. EPUB. So I'll use the same number, which is ebook. I'll say none. Navigation is multi-TOC. Split document. Object is relative to flow. Text is this stays the same. This is how it should be relative to flow, line center, but we don't have any objects, so that doesn't matter. And that's it. And now the EPUB is ready. I'll go back and check using my Kindle Previewer. Kindle Previewer is absolutely the best software to check your ebooks if you're uploading to Amazon Kindle. You can always use Apple iBooks as well, but I prefer to use Kindle ebook. I'll just drag and drop here. It is doing the processing as you speak. Hopefully it'll be done in maybe less than 30 seconds. And that's like a general, uh, way of exporting an EPUB. I'll try to make another video where with a complicated ebook just to give more explanation. So it is processing the file. The file was huge. So now the Kindle Previewer is processing our file here, optimizing the images. Da, da, da. Brilliant. So this table of content was something that we defined on the back end. And now, as you can see, that this looks a bit funny because it was like this when it was part of our style. Then it looks like there was a shading, uh, you know, behind the chapter heading, but my client likes it, so I'll just go ahead and you know I'll keep it this way. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see that this table of content is clickable, so that's how you can export a perfect looking EPUB.